Okay, diet students. Um, Today we'll be discussing about computing the mean of a discrete probability distribution. Okay, so the definition for this one is the mean of a discrete random variable x is the weighted average of the possible values that the random variable can take. So in simple terms, ang pasabot sa mean of this of a discrete random variable x, ang pasabot daw sa mean kay muna siya ang weighted average, or ang weighted average is the um, i-sum up nimo tanan and i-get nimo ang kung pila sa kabuk possible values. So that's how you get the average. Okay? Now, let's have an example. So we consider rolling a die. What is the average number of spots that would appear? Okay. So as we can as we have already known nga ang die has six faces, and each faces represents a dot, di ba? From 1 up to 6. So for the step 1, all you need to do is to construct the probability distribution for the random variable x, representing the number of spots that would appear. So we know what is there sa atuang spots sa ilang probability. So ang kada possibility, or like kada event nga mahitabo, 1/6 gyud ang probability, di ba? So if you roll a die, ilang chances is 1/6 ra gyud, unless if gi-roll siya twice. So dihala na siya mausob. Since kani gi-roll ra man siya kas-a, so the number of occurrence sa tuwa, if makaget tag 1 is 1/6, 1/6. If 2 is 1/6 gihapon, up until sa number of 6 spots na siya, 1/6 ra gyapon yung probability. So saan to pag-get sa iyahang what you call this, sa iyahang average. Now to get this average, all we need to do is to multiply, okay, multiply the number of spots times its probability. Okay? First is ato siya siyang i-multiply. So 1 times 1/6 is just 1/6. 2 times 1/6 is just 2/6. Okay? So 1 ra man ang mga numerator na tanan nila. So ato ra i-copy paste diretso ang ilang numerator, and then copy ra pud ang denominator. Okay? So 5 may mug ang 1 may mug 5, ang 6 may mug 1, ana ra tanan. Okay, so na natay inani. Now to get this average, pag-get na to sa average ani, all we need to do is to sum them up and simplify. So ato ra silang i-sum up. So pila man na siya if atong i-sum. So 1/6, that is 3/6 plus 6/6, di ba? 6/6 ni siya. Okay, 1 plus 2 plus 3 is 6. Plus 4 plus 5 is 9. Okay, 4 plus 5 is 9. And then 6 plus 9 is just 15. Di ba? So 15/6. So 15 plus 6, if ato siya i-total, mahimo po na siyang 21/6. And then if ato siya i-simplify, we will get 3/3.5. So the mean tells us that the average number of spots that would appear in a roll of die. So the average number of spots that would appear is 3.5. Yan na lang siya pagkuha na to sa ato ang mean sa itong discrete random variable x. Okay? So although the die will never show a number, which is 3.5, this implies that rolling the die many times, the, the theoretical mean would be 3.5. Ganun naman siya mean because of the probability. Okay, it could be 4, it could be 3, so ana siya. It could be 6, it could be 1, so in between ra nila. So ana na siya ang pasabot sa mean. Okay? Now, for the formula, if you will write it in a mathematical way, you have there the mean of a random variable with a discrete probability distribution is, So mo ni siya ang logo sa mean. Ang logo sa mean is mu. So this is the Greek letter mu or mean is equal to x sub 1 times p of x sub 1. So x sub 1 represents the random variable. So mo ni siya ang value sa random variable, and then ang p of x sub 1 is the probability that the first random variable will occur. So ilang probability sa x sub 1 or probability sa value sa random variable x sub 1, and then x sub 2, and then the probability of x sub 2, and so on up until p of x sub n. Sa n, unsa man ang n? To the nth number. So depende kung asa taman. Okay? So to shorten this term kani para magamay ni siya, gigamitan nato siya sigma notation. So this sigma notation represents summation. Okay? Summation of variables. Okay? So you have there the average is equal to the summation of x times p of x. Okay? Where x sub 1 up until x sub n are the values of the random variable x, and p of x sub 1 up until p of x sub n are the corresponding probabilities. Okay? Let's proceed to the second example. You have there, for example, two grocery items. So the probabilities that a customer will buy one, two, three, four, or five items in a grocery store are 3 over 10, 1 over 10, 1 over 10, 2 over 10, and 3 over 10, respectively. So, unsay pasabot aning respectively? This means isunod ra nimo silang tanan. So, ang 1 mo din ni siya ang 3 over 10, ang probability niya. Ang 2 mo pud na ang iyahang probability. Ang 3 mo pud niya ang probability, and then and so on na dayon. So what is the average number of items that a customer will buy? So to get it, again, the first step is to write it in a table, um, indicating its probability. So probability nila gitali lang since given naman na diretso guys. So you can write it there na. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, as you can see in the problem, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then ayan corresponding na probability, which is respectively man. So in order siya. Tapad na silang tanan. After this, all you have to do is to multiply and add. So multiply lang nimo silang tanan. So pag multiply nimo, okay, you'll get 3 over 10. Tara, yung multiply naman na silang tanan. Okay, yung multiply ra na silang tanan guys. Sa simple mathematics, yung multiply ra ang one digit nga number. So I don't see how it is difficult for you to multiply one digit number, okay? So 1 times 3, 2 times 1, 3 times 1, and 4 times 2. Lastly, 5 times 3. So you'll get the product of the number of items and the probability. Next is just simply add them all up. So i-add lang na silang tanan. Okay? So, kamo, naroon ninyo if i-add nyo sa calculator or dili, pero pwede rin na ninyo i-manual. Basta kay, ang inyong final answer ani will be 31 over 10, which is equal to 3.1. Okay, yun. Saan ipagkuha ang 31 over 10? All you have to do is to add them all up. I-add ra ni sila tanan. And then you'll get 3.1. So the mean of the probability distribution is 3.1. This implies that the average number of items that the customer will buy is 3.1. Yan na na siya, guys. Next example, you have their surgery patients. So the probabilities that a surgeon operates on 3, 4, 5, 6, or 7 patients in any day are, so given na po the probabilities ha. So these are the values sa imong random variable, okay? These are the values sa random variable. sa variable, random variable. Kani siya muna siya ang ato ang probabilities of the random variable. So that will be p of x sub n lang na. And then find the average number of patients that a surgeon operates on a day. Okay. So balik ko na ko ang first step ani is to write it on a table indicating the probabilities for each um values of the random variable. So since respectively raman na siya. So ang 3 para sa 0.15, ang 4 para sa 0.10, ana ra na siya guys. Okay, so after sa table, all you need to do is to multiply this one, kani i-multiply ra ni nimo og og kani i-multiply ra na nimo. Next is to add them all up and then you're done. Ana ra ka basic. Okay? So, dira first step na to, gitali lang siya. Okay, gitungod silang tanan. Step 2, i-multiply sila. Okay? I-multiply ra silang tanan and then mo ni equal after ani ang total na dayon nila. So, ang total nila will be 5.45. Okay? So, the average number of patients that a surgeon will operate in a day is 5.45. So, ano ra siya guys? So, if you have questions or clarifications, you can PM me. Thank you guys and God bless.